Hi everyone, I'm Preeti and I'm super excited to be your host today. A session on data visualization with Tableau. Get ready for a practical, insightful, and interactive learning experience. We have an amazing speaker today with us, Mr. Jayen. Jayen is an accomplished analytics expert with a mission to empower data professionals through a powerful blend of cutting edge technology, practical skills, and deep industry insights. With 30 years of experience in IT and 20 years in analytics, Jayan has worked with global leaders such as Tableau, Salesforce, IBM, and many more. His vast industry background is complemented by his extensive experience in training and mentoring professionals worldwide. Jain has trained faculty and industry experts from renowned institutes and organizations including IIM, Raipur, UPES, Reliance Retail, Genpact, and many more. Throughout his career, Jayan has focused on transforming raw data into meaningful insights and helping organization accelerating growth through his impactful analytics implementations. At metricmind.in, he delivers comprehensive training program and consulting service designed to help individuals and teams excel in the data analytics space. With 150 plus training session delivered, leading multi-million dollar analytics project and mentoring numerous teams, Jayan bring unmatched expertise and a deep passion for building data driven cultures. We also have a live Q&A at the end, so feel free to drop your questions anytime in the Q&A tab. Sir will take them up live. So get ready to learn, interact, and make most of the session. Let's give a warm welcome to Mr. Jayan. Over to you, sir.
Wow, Preeti, you can really introduce somebody really well.
Thank you,
Interesting
sir.
and impressive.
Thank you so
So
much.
I've just shared my slide screen as well. I hope it is visible.
Yes, it is visible.
All right. And so once again, thank you for the introduction and for our participants here. Well, good afternoon, everyone. I'm assuming most of you are in India. I'm not sure, but I'm assuming that. So good afternoon. And if there's somebody from somewhere else, well, greetings to you. So we know the session today is on Tableau, and Tableau is a product which is heavily known, very strongly known in the market for data visualizations. We are not going to delve into the concepts right now, at least because of the time that we have. If we have time, maybe during the Q&A part or after that, if you have doubts on the concepts like what is a visualization, what is data, we should start with what is data, right? And rather than taking that point right now, we'll move a little quickly through some of the slides, a small set of slides, and then we'll actually have a look at the product itself and we'll build a few things. So, in case you are actually hoping to join me while building this and do this parallel on your machines as well, I recommend downloading what we call as Tableau Public Desktop. So go to public.tableau.com and there you will find a download option after you register. That registration process will take 2-3 minutes, but it will be over soon. And soon you will be able to download if you're not already registered. And by the way, before I miss this, Tableau Public or public.tableau.com, that URL points to a freely available edition of Tableau, completely free, where you can actually publish content that you build for the wider audience to look at as well. Are you getting a hint of building your own portfolio by that? Yes, that is what it helps us build as well. So get registered on public.tableau.com if not already done, and you can show your miracles that you have built to the entire world. And I'll just adjust a few things on my screen here so it does not disturb me or you. All right, getting started. So data visualization with Tableau. Effectively, what is Tableau meant for? The right answer, the correct answer is not visualizations only. It is a analytical product where you need to write a lot of code and that lot is absolutely zero. You have to write zero code to get started and build your content. And it is as smooth as what I'm actually mentioning here. We'll see it very soon, very soon. So, why do we need a tool like Tableau or Power BI? Some of you might have that point on your mind as well, or something like Looker from Google, or something like MicroStrategy. You can feel free to let me know in the chat what are the other tools that you have heard about in such a scenario context. Feel free to use Q&A and the webinar chat as you wish. As far as possible, we'll try and answer all the questions. But if it becomes difficult because of the time part, we'll have to take it maybe at a different point in time. Maybe separately, maybe one-on-one, we can do that. So today, we all know companies are drowning in data, drowning, doubre in data. Why do we say that? Because every single company has a series of data sets, data that they collect, sometimes consciously, sometimes unknowingly, we knowing or unknowing. When we click on the I agree button, when you have downloaded an app, it is effectively going to collect some data for sure. If we go through the details, we'll get to know how much of detailing are they doing. But every company has a bunch of data, and sometimes this runs into a few millions or crores or billions and trillions of rows. That amount of data is not restricted by what you are looking at. There could be a lot more than what you are looking at, which is getting captured. But these companies are all too much of data. Can you, like the number of liters of water in the ocean, can you actually drink it as is? No. You have to do something before you start drinking it. Similarly, insights have to be brought out from that data. And that is what the companies need to address. And that is why they hire who? Data analyst, business analyst, and various other analysts in the company. They help them get this insight out from the data. How does the insight actually work out? We'll see that in a few minutes. And that volume of data is the real challenge, is one of the bigger challenges. The second challenge is what you can do about that data as well, correct? What can you and me as individuals, as data analysts in the world can do about that data? And that is where a tool like Tableau figures in. Okay, what happened to my slides? Not moving. So in that context, the objective today is to see a path from data to taking decisions. By who? Not by us. That is why the company stakeholders. And when we say the word stakeholders, if you understand the term, it is the top level people in the company. It could be mid level teams in the company. It could be the lower management in the company. It could be people individually in every department, in every team in the company. And we become their agents. We become their go-to person to get those insights arrived at from the data. And that is where products like Tableau, Power BI, some of you named Excel as well, absolutely right. And I think somebody named, I think I missed checking that. Give me a second. I'm going back to chat. Data stage. Data stage helps build the platform to be able to deliver those insights. It is the starting point typically for such data. But most of you have got it right. Power BI, Excel are the common answers. There are many other products as well. And if you search for currently actively used BI tool in the world, you will find at least 20 or 50 other names. So, do we need to learn all of them? No, definitely not. If we had to learn all of them, we would end up spending another 3 years, like our graduation, into learning these tools, which is not the right thing to do. We must focus on the concepts first, concepts of how is analysis done on the data, how do we arrive at those insights, and then have a mapping of one product way of working to another product's way of working and the differences. We should not, at least at the early stages in our career, we should not even consider mastering all the tools. Make sure you understand clearly one of those tools, at least, maybe two. Today's context, Tableau and maybe Power BI both together go quite hand in hand. In fact, there are quite a few now companies who have both these products actively used in that company. So that is what we have to remember, and we have to plan our careers in that way as well. All right. So, what is it that becomes something that we have to be thinking about regularly? A little bit of repetition of what we said a few seconds back. As an example, Netflix or other products like Zomato, Swiggy, Spotify, and I don't know how many others. They all generate tons and tons of data. Now, remember, tons here is a weight. Data is coming in form of MBs, GBs, and TBs, megabytes, gigabytes, terabytes. And some companies have gone beyond that as well. There are a few companies, a few organizations who have data running into petabytes as well. Quite a few. But as an example, Swiggy reads your cravings. You know, there was a case that was noted with, I can't remember, was it Swiggy or Zomato? One of the two. I think it was Swiggy, where they realized there are people who order between 9 or somewhere around 7:30 to about 9:30. And these people order a normal routine food. There are people who order at 11 p.m. night, who order those heavy food items. And biryani is one of the common items ordered that time. And if I use Hindi for a second, for a few seconds, it is like, यार छोड़ो, इतना क्यों सोचें, बिरयानी ऑर्डर करो, खा लेंगे, पेट भर जाएगा, शांति से सो जाएंगे. Do you feel connected to such situations? I'm pretty sure. Keep responding on chat as well if you feel the same happens with you as well. Well, I'll continue, but let's get the updates as well. So now this is a time when you need, okay, when you need those insights. Now this was one of the insights. People ordering late look for quick fixes because they are so hungry. That might be the reason behind it. They're already late for their meals and they're very hungry. So they don't think too much. One option that seems full, which will help make my tummy full, is placed. That order is placed. Quickly finished. Now starts the time to wait for the delivery. Patiently, or rather impatiently wait for the delivery. I'm very hungry. But these kind of insights that were found was part of that data that was actually read. The cravings that Swiggy kind of started reading. They looked at order history, the time of the day, and the preferences, combining them to surface exactly what you would want before you start your search. You open the Swiggy app, and that kind of option starts coming up straight away. It doesn't wait for you to type BIR in the search fields to show you biryani. It starts showing you biryani straight away. As an example, That is what you could use in sharing your insights that you find from the data. And in such a scenario, why Tableau? Why did we choose specifically Tableau? One that I can tell you for sure, Preeti suggested that there has been a lot of demand for Tableau. Tableau kind of a webinar to be done. That's point number one. Point number two, today it is all based on drag and drops or English commands being typed, English commands, not syntaxes, not formulas that can be used to get answers out of Tableau, and sharing of that via the platform that we mentioned earlier, public.tableau.com, sharing those insights for any non-confidential data as well is very, very easy and straightforward. Importantly, the recent additions of features into Tableau, if time permits, I'll show you that as well. I have a doubt about the times, but let's see. Those AI-based capabilities that have come out recently in the Tableau product, those are also amazing. And those are the reasons, some of the important factors why Tableau has been worldwide one of the top tools used by analysts across the world, not just India, not just one country. So there's one example dashboard also put up here. While I don't call this as a complete dashboard also, and if if possible, we'll actually stress on that as well when we do some content building. But this is just one example. There can be many others. There are many others. Moving ahead, let me show you something on the product as well. This time I'm using Netflix data, and there are two questions that I'll try and answer. How many titles by countries, how many titles are there by countries and genre, and which country has the highest number of titles in which genre? Okay, let me switch to the product Tableau. Okay, too many screens open, too many applications open on my end, and I'm trying to find where did I put Tableau in here. Okay. All right. Let me bring this to the visible screen as well. Preeti, can you just confirm you can see the Tableau product?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. Great. So what I've done here is I've got a bunch of data sets that I've already brought here, and I can show you that data set as well. So this is the Netflix data, and this CSV file, one CSV file, which has this structure that is visible here on the bottom right, or the list of columns here on the left side, somewhere in the middle. This is what I have in that data. Country group is a calculated field, and I'll show you how I created that as well. So there are some changes that I've already made in the CSV, not into the CSV, but using the CSV on the Tableau front. That component, that part is what we call as data modeling. And data modeling is a common activity that we do with practically all the analytical tools. And this resulted into a few bunch of rows. How many rows? Let's look. 419 rows that I have right now in this data set. Remember, it is not all Netflix titles. It is some Netflix titles for a limited period. And let me show you. Here is the Netflix 400 plus titles name. And this is the data that we had just had a look at. Country group, which is the calculated one. And genre, release year, titles, type. What is type? It is whether it's a movie or a series or a repository. And how many such records exist against each of them? 194 movies. 224 series and only one repository. So repository in this case is something that we can ignore. All right. So let's understand, going back to the original question that we had on the slide, how many titles by countries and genre? So titles are here. Okay, I don't need this data anymore. So I'll remove this and I'll bring in the titles first. These are the names that we have in the data. And most of these are series. There are some movies we already know. And I don't need this. This has come from a different part of the Tableau content that I've built. And this is the titles. How many titles? I need just the title count. So I'll simply change it to the count. And it automatically created a bar chart. 416. So there might be some duplicate titles as well, wrongly added. And that is why the distinct count that I added is showing 416 instead of 419 earlier. You saw 419 before, right? If you remember. All right, but I want this to be split by the countries and genre. So let me bring in the country first. Here are the countries. South Korea has only one. Austin also has only one. But is Austin a country? In reality, Austin is not a country. It is a state. Sorry, not even a state. It is a city in the US. There is US here. But this, for some reason, could be a wrong data entry by somebody, could be other factors, which has resulted into this being out from US. And that is the reason I literally go in here, create a group, and I say I want this to be grouped as USA. And there is USA here as well. So take this and you see country group one came up here. And now instead of country, if I add country group, there is no Austin, there is only one in USA. Only one, that one has got merged with USA. Let's have a look at it before and after. So USA, sorry, not this one, before this, Austin was only one, USA was 60. And after that change that I did, there's no Austin here and USA is 61. I hope this is making sense. And you see, visually looking at that content, I could easily figure out what I need to do and actually do it as well. I want this sorted in the descending order of the data on the number of titles that we have. All right, done. US has the highest number of titles. Fair. But now let's bring in the genre as well. So now I bring this one after country group. Okay. But let me make this a little bland chart to be a little colorful. I want to see each of these genres with a different color. So I copy this field on top of color. Better? How many of you like this one more than the previous one? Can you just give me a thumbs up on the Zoom, please? Or write it colored. Write color if you prefer the color, or write bland if you prefer the first one. Okay, quite a few colored, and until now everybody is saying colored was good. Okay, great. Now, which genre in which country had the highest number of titles? Can anybody look at this screen and tell me that? So this is the full screen. This is the full width, or I can adjust this to fit everything in one view. Can somebody tell me which genre in which country is having the highest count, highest number of titles. Difficult to read. Okay, I agree. Okay, let's see if I can increase the size. I hope this is better.
Yes, sir.
Somebody said documentary. That is very small, my friend. I think the small size on the screen might have affected. But here, looking at the bar chart, bars, this bar seems to be the highest. Drama in US has 21. Drama in India also has 21. Correct. So, somebody, Shraddha, you were saying documentary. So, in reality, that color was very similar. Documentary, that is, you see the selected one is a documentary bars against every country. And here is drama. I think now it would actually make it very clear to you as well. All right, somebody smartly has written next to documentary is the best one. And you are right as well. And that's a very smart way to say it. Correct. Good. I like that. I like that kind of a response as well. I don't know what is that. I can't read it, but it is next to documentary. Good. All right. So this was the first part. How many titles by countries and genre is already visible in the chart? Maybe I can actually make some more changes and add a label of that count for every bar. So now the count is also seen, the number is also seen against every single bar, and we have a better response. Friends, remember one more thing. Tableau is so easy, so easy. I don't like this for every country. I have a bunch of genres that I have. For India, US done, India done, France, Japan, Germany, and so on. But I don't want that anymore. I want all countries in the list by each genre. Easy. Make sense? Sorry. Let me take a couple of sips of water as well. So in the meantime, you can have a feel of what the swapping of those pills, as we call it, between genre and the country group one to be specific. How did that change the view? Okay. And the second question that we wanted was, if I shift back to the slides for a few seconds, the second part was which country has the highest number of titles in which genre? The answer is US and India with the count of 21 against drama. Correct? Okay. This is, well, something that might be aspirational data for me. Is this something that a company would need? Okay, Shrikant, I hear you. This is clearer for genre. But remember, depending on the kind of question, depending on the kind of question asked, you may need this or you may need the other one. So if you want to see what genre for US is the lowest, then this is the best way. Oops, undo. Then this view is the best one. At the same time, if you are interested in genre-wise updates for country, then this is the best view. But I can understand why you had that point, why you had that comment as well. And think of this. Right now, the color is based on the genre because that is what genre is what we have dropped on color. If I want it the other way around, I can bring country on color, and now you get the country view in the way you preferred. Does this make sense to everyone? Please give me a thumbs up on the chat or on Zoom, or write it out, write clear on the chat as well. All right, great. Okay, so now this was question one part of a demo content that we were actually looking at. Let me shift back to the slides for a second. So now from that Netflix data, basic data, including creating a group for countries where a mismatch in the data was corrected as well. It was so easy to look at what I can do with that data in a matter of seconds, correct? Do you agree? Please say yes on chat if you agree. Great. Perfect. So then you just did data analysis without writing a single line of code. Did you write any code? Absolutely zero, at least until now, correct? Let's not talk of the future. Until now, it is zero code. Your first dashboard, or at least a decent view of that data, was ready in a matter of under 5 minutes, including all the explanation that we had to do, that we did. Let me go to the next one. This time I'm taking a corporate data, a real life equivalent corporate data. This is not real data, this is equivalent data, but it is still something very similar to what a corporate data would look like. And that is again on the same deck, on the same Tableau public interface, where I have got these three questions to answer. And that data set is this one, sample APAC Superstore. It is a store data. Think of Amazon and Flipkart kind of equivalent data set where there are products being sold. This is the product name under this category, which is under this subcategory, and that subcategory is under the category, and so on, things like that. So to give you a feeler of what are the questions that we want to address from that Excel based data that I've already loaded here to save some time, these are the three questions that we want to answer. Which states lose profit? Let's start with that. Okay, I'm back onto Tableau. States. Which states lose profit? Because there's a state factor, I'm first bringing in the country, and there's something unusual it is doing, right? It has brought up a map straight away. I did not tell Tableau to bring a map. It automatically understood it is country. So I have to ideally present it in a map, and it does that. And now I bring in the state along with the country. So there are dots against every state wherever we have sold something, some product. My friends, that includes in this case Pakistan as well. Well, India has special relationship with Pakistan, right? And hence I mentioned nothing else. All right. But now what I want to see is profits, right? Which states lose profit? So is there a profit column here? I know there is one, but this is how I can search for it as well. And now what I do is I drag profit also onto color. And the map changes drastically. Earlier it was very different. This is what we call as a point map. Now it has become a filled map, or what is technically called a choropleth. A map with filled regions. It could be countries, it could be states, it could be something more as well, and so on. A filled map is what is technically termed as choropleth. And now, if you notice, there are multiple colors that you have against every state. Any guesses what is the color based on? If you know the answer, just type it on the chat. Let me give you a few seconds. And if I give you a small hint as well, yes, Shraddha, you are absolutely right. It is based on the sum of profit. You can see the legends here. Per state, what was the profit? Maharashtra had 16,106 as the profit. New South Wales in Australia had 43,000. And now look at this color range as well. There's a small tick here somewhere in the middle, somewhere in between, indicating zero. On the left of zero is a negative value. On the right of zero is a positive values. So 43,696 is for New South Wales. And you see orange color here, and orange here indicated a loss, correct? Because it is on the negative side of that zero tick on the color bar, color range here. So now I see Pakistan, Punjab has minus 17,701. That is the most loss making state across the world. Balochistan has 1,132 loss, and Sindh has 1,894 loss. And do you see the way the loss increases, the color becomes darker and darker orange. It is actually going towards the red. Knowing this, the way the Tableau product works, it is red to blue diverging. I can also change that to a different set of colors. And I can make it green blue or red green diverging. And that blue has vanished and you see more greens. And the orange for the negative continues. It is red to green. If it would have been 43,696 plus and 43,696 minus as well, then it would have shown a proper red color for those where we had the highest loss. So our question original, which states lose profit? The answer is these three, right? Is there any other state that is losing profit? Here as well. In Indonesia, in fact, most of the Indonesian states have a very, very low profit or some loss. And I see something here, low profits, low profits. Now this seems empty. There is nothing here. Otherwise, a tooltip for Telangana would have shown up. Something here, minus 85. Indonesia continues to be negative. Here, there is no negative, and so on. I hope you're getting a feel of this. Do you like it? Do you like the way the product works? Great. All right, good. Now, let's come back to the second question. We had three questions to answer. Okay, I don't need to come here. I can put it, I have put it here as well. So who are our top customers? Our top customers. Okay. So I was on this sheet until now. I'm now moving to the new sheet. This is empty right now. There's nothing here. But now we need our top customers. Customers are here. But what do we mean by top customers? Does it mean whose faces we like? Or does it mean who gives us highest profit? Or does it mean who gives me highest sales? It can be either of them, but if nothing else qualified, Shrikant, you are right. It would mean sales, high sales. Okay. Ravindra, you just saw your message as well. So typically, top customers would be the ones who are giving us maximum revenue. Getting revenue means we are in business. Getting more profit means we are flourishing. But the basic part is making sure we have business. So I bring in all customers first. Then I bring in sales this time. And I sort this. However, is this name to be pronounced? To be honest, I don't know for sure. But Carrie Saire is a top customer for us. But did carry gave us the same amount of profit? Maybe, maybe not. Let's see. And now I see both of them together. This is sorted by profit sales, and that is what we see. If I need sorting by profit, this is how I get it. So Cynthia was not too far behind. Highest sales was 16,000. Highest profit was 4,000. Who gave us 11,000 sales? Make sense? So far, all okay? I hope this is clear. So if we want to change the context also from high sales to be top customers to high profit to be top customers, sometimes we may need the other way around. Who helps us make more revenue from customers who are giving us very low profit as well? It is those who give us high sales, high profits. They save us from those customers. So that also could be a context. So you are now free to pick what context you need, and that is workable as well. But then there is another context, which is I want to find out who gave me maximum profit margin. Margin. What is margin? It is a percentage of profit. How is a profit percentage calculated? It is the value of profit divided by the value of sale. So my sale, my bill, so when I go and buy, let's say, groceries or electronics from a store, e-commerce store or in-person store, your receipt or the value, the product price includes the company's profits as well, right? So the sales value that we have is inclusive of the profit. And what percentage of that sales is the profit value is what is profit margin. And that is very simple to calculate. We don't have profit margin here. So let's calculate it. I create a new calculated column based on the profit value to start with. Create calculated field. And that open on the other screen. Let me bring it here. I'll call this as profit percentage. I'm avoiding typing too much. And then if one order had multiple rows, and that is how it would typically be, that is where I'll have to take the sum first and then divide it by the sum of, and you see while I am typing, I get assistance as well. Sum of sales. So if I have one order which is running into say 5 products, sum up all those products for the sales value and the profit value, and then the sum of profit is to be divided by the sum of sales. That is what I'm saying here. And if I press OK here, I get a new field called profit margin. Notice a equal to sign, a very tiny equal to sign on the left of it. I bring this number also into the fields. Profit margin for all the orders, all the products, all the customers is 0. What is happening is something very silly. I go to default properties, number format, I set it to percentage with 2 decimals, and suddenly your profit percentage shows up. Now, who gave me highest sales? We already know, sorry, highest sales. We already know that was Carry Saire. Who gave us highest profit? Cynthia at 4,000. Who gave us maximum profit margin? It looks like that also was Cynthia. No, it was not. It was Johnny Sundaresam. Sundaresam. So if there is somebody named Sundaresam here, I'm sorry for the way I pronounced it earlier. Just corrected myself. Johnny Sundaresam. But notice the sale for him was so negligible compared to others, and the profit also for that matter. So depending on the context of what you really need to address, you have the flexibility to do it at runtime dynamically without worrying too much about the formulas or the columns. All right. So that was question number 2. Coming to question number 3, let me add a new sheet here. So what was question number 3? what should we stop selling? Basically, it means which product should we stop selling? And in that context, let's see if there are products which actually are either not getting sold or they are getting sold at a very heavy loss. So then I'll first take sales and I'll take sales on the columns. By columns, it means it's a X axis that I'm putting sales on. And on the Y axis, I'll take, say, the profit percentage. I got only one point and a X axis and a Y axis. Does this remind you of your school days, our school days, me as well, when we used a graph paper? X and Y axis starts with 0 and goes into up to 3,500K. So 3.5 million or 35 lakhs. And the profit margin goes from 0% to 12% here. A little over 12 is what was the overall profit margin that we made on our total business. But what is our context? What do we want to find? The products. What should we stop selling? That means the products. So now I'll bring in the context of the product as well, and I'll simply drop this into the middle or onto the detailed section, which will do the same thing. Both of those will do the same thing. Now, do you notice something unusual appearing? Zero axis is shifted here, almost right to the top, one step down from the top. There is something that we have sold at minus 385% profit. Minus 385% profit. We have taken a heavy loss, a very heavy loss. But is this a product to stop selling? Maybe yes, maybe no. Yes, because evidently it is causing such a severe loss. Sold for 190 rupees or dollars, whatever the currency you think of, for a product called honey coffee table fully assembled. Trouble is, sometimes we are simply getting rid of that inventory and making space in our warehouse. And for that, even if it is at a loss, at least I'm recovering 190 rupees or dollars out of that product, right? Even though it is a heavy loss. But if you are planning to stop that product, then this can evidently happen. Similarly, here as well. Bevis round table adjustable height sold at a profit of negative 250 percentage. Correct? Here as well. And looks like these are all tables only. But remember, I also mentioned we have a series of subcategories. Every product has a subcategory, and that subcategory is here. So to get a feeler, let me create a different worksheet for a second. I'll bring in the category first, then the subcategories, and then the product. So you see furniture has multiple bookcases, and these three are basically a hierarchy. A product belongs to a subcategory, each subcategory belongs to a category. So I can also drag and drop them and bring them in such a way that it makes it much easier to understand. Products is the name that I'm giving to this hierarchy. And you see, this is the new item called products, under which I have two. Now I need to bring in the third one as well, the product name as well. Done. And with that change, here you will see expansion and collapsing possible. Category expands to subcategories. Each category, furniture has 4 subcategories, office supplies has a bunch, and technology has another 4. And now if I expand subcategories, the same thing between these. So rather than looking at product name, I'll now shift to bookcases or to the subcategory in this view. So I'll remove product name and bring in, where did I lose subcategory? Oh, it's now in the product hierarchy. And that is what I'll bring in here. So there's a much smaller set of items that we see. Who has the least profit percentage? Tables. Looking at the products earlier, we already saw it was tables. Those top three were tables of some kind. And that subcategory continues to be the one causing trouble for us. If I shift from from profit percentage to the profit value, the profit value for tables, though all tables, whatever were sold at a total price of 225,000 value, they still caused a loss of 20,000. So tables is one of those which we possibly should stop. But is that the only one to be stopped? What about those which have very low sales? Yeah, for example, this labels. Sales is only 22,000 as compared to the top product, which is chairs, 508,000. But mind well, labels do not take too much space in the warehouse or the store. So it can be kept under the shelf and still be sold. Why would we need that? Because with other items, people may ask for labels to be applied on that product as well. So it makes logical sense to continue using that product, continue selling that product. Does that mean tables definitely need to be sold or stopped? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe bookcases, which can be kept on the wall, on the higher part of the wall, on screws, can have a table or a desk underneath. So, and if we have both the products together, maybe it will sell better. Maybe both of them will actually support each other. If we stop tables completely, my customer is going to somebody else for tables. Bookcases, they've come to us, but they did not see tables and they decided to go to a different store so that they can get both the products together. That's a risk. That's a risk we are possibly taking. Okay. So now, based on what decision the management takes based on this data, yes, we may stop something or we may continue or maybe add something different along with it as well. I hope this makes sense. But now comes another crucial part. Okay, before that, let me show you a third set as well. Corporate data with the same set. Let me build one full dashboard. So I'm first taking up KPI tiles or what I call as numbers, simple numbers. Sales, profit, and orders. Orders means number of orders. So sales, okay, this I can shift a little to the right so it does not disturb us. And sales. So now back to the superstore data. I bring in sales. I bring it to text. And I get sales as one single number. And I'll name this as sales. Similarly, I'll bring in profit. Once I can find it, okay, right here. Oops. Okay. I'll bring in quantity, that will be the number of products sold. You notice the name that I typed here also starts appearing here. That's also a built-in capability within Tableau, and it can be stopped if we want to. For now, we don't want to stop it. And what was the other one? Oh, sorry, not here. In here, orders. We'll take orders. Oops. We'll bring in orders in this one. So orders is based on the order ID that we have. But one single product could have multiple, sorry, one single order could have multiple products. So first I've dropped this. I may convert it to a measure and say count. But because one product, one order can have multiple products, I'll change this to count distinct. And that gives me 5,397 orders that I have in this data. Fair enough. I'll call this as hash orders. And in a similar way, I'll bring in customers as well. Measure, count distinct, 795 customers. Okay. So I've got 5 items name put up here. And then I'll shift to a map, the same map that we had earlier, similar map that we had earlier. Okay. All right, I'll recreate this because this is on a different data set. And I have country. Let's say I'd stop at country level, but I want to show sales by country. And now you can see the legend quite different. This time sales does not have a negative value. Profits had a negative value. Okay. So here's a map. Category performance bar chart. Okay. So I bring in the category. Once I can find it here. I'm taking it on rows and I show the sales by category. And there are 3 categories that we have already seen. I'll sort them as well. So the top category appears on the top. And this is category. And the last one for this chart was a bunch of filters and tooltips. Give me 1 second. So tooltips, what is a tooltip? When I'm pointing to any of the bars, you see the values against it. That is what is a tooltip. And before I build the tooltip, let me bring all these together in a single place. Just a quick time check, 3:08. Okay. So I have a few more minutes which I can use to show you complete this one first, and then we'll talk about more things, a little more on the slides as well. So sales, I'll first put that into put a horizontal. Okay, I need the change the size as well. You keep it to fixed size to a typical desktop layout. So let me remove this and add it again. I'm taking a horizontal first, dropped it into the center. The second horizontal, I'm dropping it below the previous horizontal. These are containers. And now I bring in those 5 numbers, single numbers right besides each other. 2, 3, 4, and 5. And I go to the parent, the container, reduce the width, the height, and say distribute them evenly. And also set the fit to entire view. You're getting a feel of what I'm doing. I'll add one more horizontal above this and increase the height of this as well. It is too small now. And in the upper one, I'll add a text and call it sales performance. The font size is 9. Let me increase it. 24. Change the font to a bold version of the same one. Change the color to maybe dark blue. And that's the sales performance title for the dashboard. For the dashboard. Remember that is what we are trying to bring. So Shrikant, I see a question. Which tool is integrated with Tableau for data sourcing? None. Tableau itself has that capability built in. All right. Now I'll double click these titles and center them, all 5 of them. Unfortunately, we have to do this one piece at a time, one item at a time. Now, remember the other two maps, other two charts that we created? We had a map. I bring in into the lower horizontal, and the category, I'll take that to the right side of the map. Okay. Does this give you a better feel? By now, a slightly better feel than looking at one chart at a time? I'm sure. I'll format this whole view, current view, into slightly better with borders and shading as well. Now I go to this one. I don't need this anymore. Go to this, go to its parent horizontal, which I had added. Add a border to that also. Pick this, one of the numbers, and go to its parent as well, and add a border to that too. Then to the map, and finally to the bar chart by category on the right. This is what your content right now looks like. Maybe a little better formatting as well, just a little bit more. I select this one, change the layout to have a border. This as well. So on for quantity, the orders, and the customer count. Better than before? I can also go ahead and put background colors here for all these, as well as a different one maybe for the text. But more important, more understanding than what we have already used. You see the map. When I select the map sheet, each of these individual items are sheets, except the one which has this icon where we are building this one, for example, under dashboard 5 is what we call as dashboard in Tableau. When I select the sheet map inside the dashboard, you see these buttons. I have a filter button here, which is a toggle button. Let me click that. I have the same thing also on category. I enable that. Both filter icons showing as filled, active. What did that do? Nothing at all so far. But here is what it can do. I now click on India inside the map. Do you see this one changing? Did you see that? Let me select India again, and that's a toggle as well. Did you notice the chart changed? Did you also notice the numbers here changed? India, Australia, China, Burma, or Myanmar, whatever you prefer. It is acting as a filter by itself. Similarly, if I select technology, that also acts like a filter for the rest. Notice that, right? Can you write if you have understood the filter clearly, the clickable filters clearly, write the word filter on the chat. So I know you are getting the picture as well. Great. Thank you, Amita. Thank you, Ravindra. Thank you, Inzamam. Okay. Thank you, Manish. Thank you, Shikant. Yes, it is similar to X Slicer in Excel. The funda is the same, and every dashboard in the world needs something like that to be done as well. Absolutely. But that funda of a slicer is available here as well. And let me show you one last piece before I stop the product demo. And that is, let's say, if I go to the map, for example, I can do it from any of the other ones. Now I add a option for, where's the segment? Here. I right click this and I say show filter. It got added here and it shows here. Now I go to the dashboard that we were working with, to that map because I initiated it on the map, filters, and I select segment. Notice this got added. I don't need to waste the space. I simply drag and drop it to the right side of the sales performance label. And I format that to show me a single value list or maybe a drop down. There's a drop down. Oh, that's a drop down. Single value drop down. I want to see this for all data, all segments. Okay. Oh, I also need to activate which sheets this should apply on. And I'm saying all sheets that use this data source. There's only one data source that I've used in this entire dashboard. And now when I change this to consumer, numbers are showing change. You see each of the numbers here, the chart, both the charts below, they're all reflecting that change. Manish, yes, this is a built-in feature in Tableau. You do not need to use anything other than Tableau's internal capabilities only. So this is another piece built in into Tableau. Now I can simply go and save this, save as locally. And let's say I'll save it in the folder that I see here. Oh, no, no, no. Okay. Or remember public.tableau.com? I can save it to Tableau public. That way, this entire content with all the activities that you have set up, including those filters, including segment filters, including filtering from the map or the bar chart here, all of that will happen together. Now I'll need to sign in here with the ID that you used for your sign in. And let me connect with my ID. Save workbook to Tableau public. I'm keeping the same name, save, and then Tableau public desktop, what we are connected with right now, does a few things. 2 more minutes before we start taking questions as well, in case somebody has anything. And I have missed out answering that before, we'll take that. Or, and actually, 3 more minutes. I'll need about a couple of minutes more for showing something more. Not as a capability, but let's see, give it a few seconds more for this one to finish. And once again, it opened a new browser tab on the other screen. Let me bring that here. It is still loading. You see the new name that I had given? Let me close the other pieces. The new name that I had given, examples 3 demos new by, well, I have put up my name as Jay here. And this link, this URL is a shareable URL. So if I go and add this onto the webinar chat as well, uh, Preeti, I've just added a link. I don't think my link goes to the participants. Can you just pass it to them?
Yes, yes.
All right. So our interactivity. I click on China,
Done, sir.
filter please. Thank you. Click on India, the filter appears on the entire dashboard. And that is how easy it is to work with creating a dashboard in a matter of minutes, sometimes just seconds. All right, let me pause here for a few seconds. If you have any questions on the product right now, and if there is something that I can address right away, we'll finish that right now and then continue with a little bit of slides more, a few more slides. And I think it is just about 3 or 4 more slides to quickly talk about.
Sir,
So, any
actually,
questions?
there are few questions, but we have one session feedback form also. So, like, if you allow me a minute for this.
Sure,
Yeah. Okay.
sure, sure.
So
Please.
guys, we have a session feedback form. It will not take more than 10 seconds to fill this out. Please, fill this. Uh,
10 seconds is an
side by
exceptional time. Okay. Oh, I got that feedback session feedback as well. Okay.
yes, yes. So there are only two questions in this feedback, guys, please. And side by side, we can take a few questions, sir. Is it fine?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. Okay.
Did I miss some question in the chat as well?
Uh, no. Yes.
Okay.
So first question is asked by Nilanjana. So what is the difference between Tableau and Power BI?
I should have expected this question. I did expect this question, but I did not really prepare something in a written form. So understand this. The difference between the two products. One is the original creator of the product. Power BI is by Microsoft. Tableau is originally by the company called Tableau, eventually taken over now in the last few years, 5 6 years ago, 5 years ago, by a company called Salesforce. So I was part of Tableau and eventually into Salesforce as well. And I moved out approximately 2.5 years ago when I launched my startup. That's one of the points. Other points from a data analyst perspective. The speed at which you can do things in Tableau is not the same on Power BI. Power BI will be a little slow because you need to write functions, and sometimes the function becomes almost a program, a code using the concept called DAX. DAX is the heart of Power BI. Visualizations, Power BI is also equally strong. So building a chart is kind of equivalent on both the products. Of course, instead of dragging from point A to point B, you would end up dragging from point F to point G, some things like that. But that aspect is powerful on both. But the calculations part on Power BI could become a little overwhelming because there are times you actually need to write practically like a program. That might actually be a showstopper for Power BI. Not a showstopper, but a slight difficulty level becomes a little higher to learn. But once you've understood it, see, programming is never a difficult thing. Some people avoid getting into programming out of fear. Many of them have not even tried writing a program after thinking about it. And then they start fearing. It is not a rocket science. and it is straightforward to learn as well. But nevertheless, no code is different from low code. That is unsaid. That is always true. So that part is another difference. Some aspects about Power BI are free. Some aspects about Tableau are free. Like public.tableau.com is completely free. Zero. Absolutely zero. Otherwise, other than that, there are many small differences. I would say these are the most important differences from a data analyst perspective. Okay, any other questions?
Actually, there are so many questions.
Okay,
So
all
like,
right,
if you
bolo
want, we
bolo.
can finish the slides first.
All right, let's do that. Hopefully, not too long to finish the slides as well. So, this was the last slide that I had opened. And once again, zero code, answer in seconds or minutes. And you can actually do this very easily. What type of data does not matter. I don't have the third slide for me. And this is me. Some of you are actually looking at me live on the camera as well. Well, I hope somebody is liking this face as well. No, I don't want to be a model or a movie or a OTT series star. That is not my inspiration. I'm here for you all. And to tell you very honestly, I'm here for simplifying data analyst activities for you. I'm not here to give you a series of jargons. I'm not here for marketing. But yes, there is one activity that I do, and that is what is mentioned here. Every skill that I'll teach you, every dashboard technique, every insight method, these are practical tools and simplified for us to understand and learn from. And that is where I actually do most of my activities as well. And if I take a minute or so to talk about you and possible options that you can have from Tableau, annually there are approximately 30,000 new options, new vacancies coming up on Tableau every year. Some of them get fulfilled in a matter of hours. Sometimes it takes a few days based on the company and the processes as well. And sometimes based on luck as well, no doubt. At the same time, these freshers level entry positions as well could give you anything from about 4 or onwards, 4 lakh CTC onwards, 4 lakhs per annum, LPA. While I have only written L here, but that's how ground realities are. Not everybody is Sundar Pichai. Not everybody is Satya Nadella. So we do not go into crores right at the entry point, but this is what is typically what has been observed. And for a product like Tableau, if you look at only Tableau to learn, you may not need more than 4 to 6 weeks. I would prefer if you give 6 weeks before you start applying as well, because the kind of variations that you can have is vast with a product like Tableau and even Power BI with any data analytics products. Okay. Some 5 dashboards, 5 titles that I've put up here, which you can use as examples for you to try yourself if you are attempting it on your own. Instead, if you get attached to an institution like what I have as well, Matrix Minds, and that's the title that you see on the top as well here. If you then you would actually be ending up building these in any case. Maybe you would actually come to about 7, 8, or even 10 different use cases, projects that you use. And of course, you can have some of your own that you can refer to as well, like healthcare, for instance. But these are just examples. And talking about Matrix Minds, I just have 2 slides on it. And I'll quickly run through that. This is a course on Tableau and only Tableau. Somebody who has no background of Tableau, but you understand basics of Excel in terms of what your data would be, could be, how would you use it, how would you see it, try to see it, and so on. This is a course which runs into a total of about 35 hours of learning and then a project on it. This is what you master. You have a small investment to make, and you could be ready, like I said in the previous slide, in approximately 6 weeks. So you can start applying and be prepared to clear technical interviews on Tableau as well. Of course, this is not going to cover attitude or aptitude kind of tests. Option two is a course bundle, as I call. Sorry, just to clarify, this is a live course. It is not based on a recording that you get. Similarly, a second one is what I call as a data analyst course bundle. And this can go on, happen with either Tableau or Power BI, one of the two. And the other 5 modules that are listed here, 6 modules out of 6, one is Tableau or Power BI, and there are 5 more modules together. This takes a total of approximately 90 hours of learning. Weekly, we spend approximately 9 hours per week, 3 days of 3 hours each, making it 9 hours per week. And we take 90 hours total, making it approximately 10 weeks of activity. Include add on some holidays that may come in and so on. It is approximately 3 months long course. And that has a slightly higher amount than the single Tableau version. But this effectively is something that I've seen helping some of my students get through to major corporates on other product interviews as well. Because here we target the concept of what a data analyst has to do. How does a person think like a data analyst? We learn that in this course in far more depth, far more depth. The previous one is specific to Tableau. Okay, and this also is a live course, 90 hours of live learning. And not from a course standpoint, but if you are interested in joining other activities that I do, other courses or other information that you want, or you want to just get in touch with me, scan this. Okay, let me clear the drawings that I've put. You can scan this QR code that will take you to a WhatsApp group, and then you can actually connect with me directly as well. But of course, in your context, remember, if everybody knows what does the word Mahurat mean or the Panchang means, I keep telling my students, your career, there's no Panchang which says this is a good time or tomorrow will be a good time. The day you start thinking about your career is the right time to start. You do not look for a Mahurat for your career. And that is what I suggest you all as well. Do not wait for a Mahurat. Get started on your course planning right now. And this is a slide that I had put up for all of you to ask me questions as well. But we had some questions coming earlier. We can take now as well.
Yes, sir. If you want, you can stop sharing the screen also, sir. It's completely okay.
Okay. So before I stop sharing the screen, let me show you one more slide, one last slide.
Okay.
And that is a bye-bye slide. But yes, we are here right now and I'll stop sharing. So any questions anybody has?
Sir, there are so many questions.
Okay. Okay,
So
I'm able to see
let's
one or two of them right now. Actually,
no,
so
actually,
there, okay. Sure, go on, go on. Yeah,
okay, so
Preeti.
let's take a few questions very quickly.
Okay.
Rama is asking, Tableau is not free. Is there any similar but free software?
So Tableau for corporates is not free, but you and me today, we do not need the Tableau corporate product. That Tableau public desktop, which I showed. Let me share my screen again. So this product that we saw, Tableau Public, is completely free. Absolutely zero paisa to be paid. Nothing to be paid to anybody. If somebody comes asking you to make a payment for that, please stop talking to them. They are frauds. Okay. Anything else?
Yes, sir. So another question is, Sandeep is asking, how can we ensure that data security, that our data is not seen by any of the public platforms?
Okay. And that is where your hosting of Tableau would actually matter. And that is where the corporate context comes in as well. So Tableau Public, you do not have much of security features of that kind. But yes, you can still go ahead and on Tableau Public prevent people from downloading your entire workbook. All these sheets and dashboards that you see here get published when you do that publish or save to Tableau Public. But you can prevent them from seeing your data. This chart will still be visible to them. All these charts, these numbers, the title, the filter, and you may have more than one filter as well. All that is visible to them, but they can't see your data. But if you want more strict security, you don't want anybody to get a glimpse of what you have put up as well, then Tableau Public is not the right place. Then the paid Tableau is the right place. But in our context, when we are
Okay.
learning, it is not going to make sense whether somebody sees it or not. In fact, we would want people to see our content. Correct? At this stage. All right. Next,
Yes.
please.
Thank you, sir. Another question is, Shrikant is asking, can this be a dynamic real-time dashboard as well?
On Tableau Public, no, but Tableau allows real-time dashboards as well. Now, real-time would actually be a little relative. It would be near real-time because real-time dashboards are, well, not really a funda that actually works. And if it works, it is extremely expensive. It can go into a few $100,000. So real time is not really the context for corporates typically. And these dashboards are as of 2 hours, 5 hours, or a day back. And one of the common term you will hear in that kind of a scenario is N minus one, meaning it is as of the previous day. That is what the data is. So it is practically almost never real time, but near real time, a few seconds or a few minutes delay is what is typically seen. But that's not the capability of Tableau that I'm referring to. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
This
So,
was Srikanth,
Manish,
right?
yes.
Okay.
Okay. So, Manish is asking, would this Tableau public can be downloaded from which site? Please suggest.
Public.tableau.com.
Okay, thank you. So, sir, let's take our last question for today. And
Okay.
like any piece of advice, you would like to give to all the freshers, it can be related to like jobs or related to the learning, like how they can focus like on which part they can focus more, like this.
Okay. So remember, this is a very generic question. And to be honest, I'm also going to give you a generic answer. But before I give you the answer, there is one surprise that I have for our participants as well. And I have already got a name that I've noted for being one of the most active one on the group as well, on the chat as well. And let me come to that after I answer the question. So the advice that I give is make sure one, you don't think in a technical way. As a data analyst, thinking of what the other person's perspectives are is one of the most important point. So your responses or your insights that you share should not be from what you feel. It should be from what the data says. Always. Second, careers are built by spending effort and time on getting ready for what you are aspiring for. not based on, okay, let me use ChatGPT, get a dashboard created, and that is what I'll show and I'll get out. That does not help. If you are one of those people, please take it from me, you are getting replaced very soon, even if you are in a job. Do not forget that. Don't never forget that. And third, you need projects. But what do companies need? Companies need people who are capable to do projects. And this communication gap between the two sides is generally the typical reason why the two sides are always upset with the other. Why both sides are upset with the other. I, as a fresher, am upset. None of the companies are hiring me. Me, as a company, is upset. None of the freshers I'm getting are actually ready. This is a chicken egg story. This only you, as freshers, you can break yourself. Only you. How? One, step one, learn the right skills, learn the skills to the right levels, make sure you practice them. Third, make sure those skills are something that you have used and showcased in a video to the general public. And how do you do that? A demo to the general public? Record your videos, put it on LinkedIn. Build a portfolio. Share your portfolio. That is the way you will get hiring done faster. I know personally a few people who have, in their first interview call, have got through with their jobs. I know somebody who's also been struggling for nearly 8 months to get the first interview call. The difference is in how you're thinking and how you portray yourself to the world. Please ensure you do that every single time. Every single time you learn a skill. Think of how can you show it to the world as well. That is one of the most crucial points. Somebody has said this. I don't know, I don't know that person personally, but what I have been hearing and what I find true is not our certificates get us jobs. After the certificate, you need the right interviews to happen. And for being successful in that, you also need the right skills to be portrayed. It is not your certificate that will give you the job. Certificate will help you get started in the conversation, but the job will be obtained by your skills that you portray. Nobody is going to hire you just because you are certified as a fresher out from this particular college. That does not give you a job. Even in campus hiring, because your college was possibly one of the most reputed ones, you got the top level companies come in. But did they simply pick you up from the crowd and carry you to their offices? Nobody does. Certificates help, but they are not the only reason you will get a job. I think I've said that enough number of times. All right. What else? Okay. Uh, Preeti, can I disclose a surprise now?
Please, sir, please.
All right. Okay. So let me go back to the list of participants as well. Where is that gone? And I can see quite a few people have dropped off as well. Is Shrikant
Yes.
still here? Yes, I can see Shrikant S is here. So Shrikant, is that Shrikant S? Yes, it is. Uh,
Yes.
Preeti, would Shrikant be able to unmute himself and talk?
No, actually,
No. Okay.
he,
Shrikant,
yes.
do me one favor. Put your email address and phone number either directly to me or to Preeti. Preeti is named as Shine.com here. And share your phone number, mobile number, and your email address. Here is the surprise. Being one of the most active in the chat and the questions that you have had, I am giving you a SQL related book, ebook to be specific, at no cost, zero. And it is one of the new release SQL book. It talks a lot about the way SQL gets utilized today. I think this is worth approximately some $34, $35 if I'm right. But that comes to you as a gift from being the active participant here. Shrikant, if you can hear me, if you have heard me, please give me an acknowledgement
Yes,
on
he
the.
has.
Oh, he already did. Okay, I don't see that message
Yes,
yet. So
he's
you have got it, right?
yeah, no, like he didn't shared his email yet, but he has
Okay.
written thank you and
All right. Shrikant, I'll be able to pass it
so
to you
Shrikant,
only if I have your phone number and your
please
email.
share.
Okay, his email is here and phone number is here as well. Let me, before I
Yes,
forget,
yes.
save it first.
Contact number. Yes.
Copy.
I will
Acha, ठीक
share
है,
it with you,
ठीक है.
sir, over WhatsApp.
All right. All right. Any other
I'm
question
sharing
anybody
it with
has?
you.
Sure. Thank you so much.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Thank you very, very much
So, end of questions, is it?
for this session.
Preeti, I'm not able to hear you clearly. Your voice is getting
We are
chopped in between.
really grateful for your time and the knowledge. Am I audible now?
Slightly
Am I
better
audible now,
now.
sir?
Slightly better now. Yes.
Oh, maybe. Now it is fine.
Yeah. Yeah. It is fine now.
Yes, so we are done. So due to time constraint, we cannot take more questions, guys. Really
Right.
sorry for this. So there are many people whose questions like we didn't take. I would like to request you guys all to reach out to sir directly. And if you guys want another session, so there is only one option. I'm sharing sir's LinkedIn ID to you and message him and fill his DM to take another session. So we will reach out to him once again and
Sure.
we'll request sir to take another session.
Okay.
Yes. So thank you very, very much, sir. Thank you very much. We truly appreciate you taking your time and share your expertise with us. It's an absolute pleasure having you. And a big shout out to everyone who have joined us today. We hope you enjoyed the session and took away some
Indeed.
valuable insight to apply in your own journey. So, guys, if you would like to like revisit the session or share it with anyone, recordings are available on our LinkedIn page and YouTube channel also. So, till then, stay curious, keep exploring, and never stop learning. Wishing you all wonderful and happy weekend. Thank you so much, sir, once again.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Preeti.
Thank you,
And thank you, the
everyone.
entire
Bye
Shine
bye.
team
Bye
as
bye,
well.
sir. Take care.
Bye, everybody. Have a good day. Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye. Bye bye,